Why hello, my fellow members of Port Mojave, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts, Fire in the Hold. Episode 39. Hunter gets shot down many times. Quick question for you guys. Should I chat up my Shipbreaker age mate? A very quick poll. And who I am referencing is Kiara, if she's still here. Why is there pressure alarms? That sketches me out. All right, let's turn off shadows. Where did Kiara go? Oh, here she is. So Kiara, Sophia, Truong. They are a K-Leg permanent resident, which is interesting. They belong to the K-Leg civilians and K-Leg scavengers. I have pretty good standing with them because I have pretty good standing with K-Leg. My faction ties with K-Leg is pretty strong. AOSEC, that is. They are a young adult with ugly and arthritis and a bunch of other, yet to be revealed. And it looks like starting a conversation is going to be the popular choice. These alarms make me think I'm about to suffocate in this station. I really hope that isn't the case. And here we go. Let's have another awkward conversation, which is pretty much what we do. Alright, trying to pick the right thing. So we have the cold start, which is special moves to talk about a positive outcome in a high-stakes conversation, or shared homeworld, or talk shop, which is career. I'm going to try to talk shop. And they seem happy to talk shop with someone in the same field, although they seem to be walking away right now. I'm going to complain about the authorities, because the authorities back in AOSEC were kind of overzealous, as she herself, or as I put it. So I complain to her about the overzealous authorities, and she yawns in my face. Okay, I'm going to try to make a mildly funny comment, which is probably bad for someone who's humorless. I just remembered I'm humorless, but they did smile demurely. So, you know, there's that. Now, in this case, it is actually probably easier, to be blunt, to hire as crew and to make things work out between the two of us, as she is a crew person on my ship, than to really try to chat her up now. So I'm going to ask if she's single at the very least. And she doesn't consider anyone a crush at the moment. So the question I have for you guys is, should I hire her on as crew? So the process of hiring people on as crew is as follows. You ask about their skills, you kind of negotiate the fees, and also the life insurance policy, and then you pay out what you owe them, and then you will owe them continually throughout their, service on your ship. Now I know very little about her, other than she's a fellow shipbreaker who hailed from K-Leg, just like myself, and has permanent residency over there. That doesn't really necessarily mean anything to me, but her homeworld is K-Leg. It looks like potentially hiring out as crew is a reasonable offer. I'm also worried, honestly, she right now, I think, is in a pressure suit, holding her breath. Kind of has me worried that she's gonna asphyxiate. Maybe she won't. Maybe I'm wrong about what she's wearing, but that does not look like a healthy attire at the moment. So that also sketches me out. But it looks like the A's have it. Yeah, I have no idea. I think if I waited a long time here on Port Mojave, prospects might be different. I could check the space book to see who is sort of around. But we've done this rodeo before, and there's just not a lot. I mean, here's the social app. And if we filter dead out... I wish there was, like, a filter of proximity of who's closest. But there's not a lot of people on Port Mojave. There's, like, very, very few people that are physically here that aren't, like, police. If she's suffocating, just fire her. Well, if I do hire her, she'll get out of that suit pretty quickly. I'll, like, put a suit together. Okay, I don't want to wait too long for your reply here, because, I do suspect you're not breathing at the moment. Does the location from where the crew is hired count? Do I pair in a different currency? So there's a universal currency. The script is something specific to faction credit. I've never tried to hire anyone that like belonged to like Galfed or Ceres Extraction, so I don't really know how to answer your question. Basically, I don't have the answer. All right. Hire is crew. Oh, she doesn't sign on with complete strangers. Well, I'm going to ask her about her skills. Skilled in 0G, movement, and operations. Ask about how they are. Like, are you actively suffocating? And she reiterates the urgency of the situation to me. Is that means you're suffocating? Like, so she is urgently trying to do that, something. I'm just gonna nod. I don't know what she's trying to do, but like, if she's urgently trying to do something, yeah. I don't know if I can intervene in a way that doesn't get her killed if she's trying to do something important. I don't know. She was urgently trying to sit. Mention a headline. You were... Alright, hurry up and relax. Good. I'm so glad that you've adopted, like, the military motto of hurry up and wait. At the moment, it doesn't look like they have any security, self-worth, like any psychological needs that I'm like imposing upon. I'm gonna ask how they are again. And I don't want to be at this for too long. If I'm met with a lot of resistance where it yawn in my face. Well, that's just rude. No thanks. Yeah, this is going well. And she left. She yawned in my face, said no thanks, and left. Cool. Well, I'm gonna maybe not pursue that then. Out of curiosity, this is someone that is in the Galfed, and I have much higher standings. So, not that I'm necessarily pursuing Oriana merit, but I'm sort of curious how this plays out, given the standing differences in the faction they ultimately belong to. Drinks on you? Yeah, thanks. So they're skilled in finding and following others. You're skilled at stalking. Cool? I'm not certain I would have admitted to that. But, sure. Doesn't consider a crush at the moment. Also, who dual wields crowbars? What? Crowbar akimbo is just like a level of nonsense that just whatever. All right, she's retreating Jeff. Asks how she's doing. Tells a dark joke. I'll tell a riveting tale. And we're an acquaintance. Well, I mean, my conversations with her have gone easier, although she seems to be fleeing the area at much velocity. She just screamed no thanks at Pentao or something? I don't know what just happened. That was weird. So she's burst out laughing at my riveting tale. Okay. I'm gonna make a mildly funny comment as someone who is humorless. An original dark joke. I'm gonna gasp. Old war stories and reminisce. I'll tell another riveting tale. Like how I almost hit the sun on my way here. Ask about the weather. Complain about authorities. Now, I don't know if I'm complaining about Galfed or not. Open arms at me. And I gain reassure. Okay. Nod. I'm gonna ask about hiring as a crew. Again, this is like out of curiosity about... Okay. So here is the discussion about hiring as a crew. So you have a basic job offer where you offer someone a job as a crew. You can change the sign-in bonus and salary and death pay. I'm going to assume this is all in USD and not Galfed script. I'm going to call this hire test. Can I compare body counts? What is going to be the follow-up? Like, of how many I buried? Like, that's not a conversation I want to have with a fresh hire. It's like, oh, you wouldn't believe the amount of bodies in my wake. Doesn't come off as cool as you might think, I think. So what I'm doing is going to give a basic job offer. And she agreed to it. And I saved right before because I'm not sure about this. But yes, it does seem to be a job in USD. Question for you. Should I revert the save and search for a crew closer to my age? Yes or no? Now, it's worth noting, you absolutely do not need to hire any, like, romantic interest as a crew. There's just the obvious benefit of being able to satisfy some of your psychological needs by adding a crewman who you can have a romantic interest in, because one of the things about this game is, like, you will regularly have intimacy needs, and if they're not met, your character starts scribbling genitalia on everything. There's not a lot of other penalties, to be honest, but like it's like a nice thing to do. Plus, I wouldn't mind having backup for mining or backup for ship-to-ship fights, etc., etc., etc. I do think, realistically, if I waited long enough, the population here at Port Mojave would cycle, and there would be other people maybe closer to my age. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be an easy conversation, because the other one, like, yawned at my face, said no, and zoomed away. I can't know the future. It's possible, or who knows. Can I go for crew members? I could have as many as you want. I mean, ultimately, the big purpose of a crew in this game, in my opinion, is to share the maintenance load. That would be the biggest one. As your ship gets larger, everything on your ship will deteriorate over time without regular maintenance. And massively large ships are not feasibly managed by one person because too much stuff decays. Stuff decays faster than one person can meaningfully upkeep, right? Like, imagine trying to keep a mansion clean as one person, or like being a building maintenance person for like a large apartment building, having no extra people on staff, right? It becomes unreasonable. My ship at the moment is pretty small. It's pretty easy to maintain. So I don't actually benefit massively from added help, except for the interpersonal needs of Hunter Elliot. With the caveat that, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea to have someone... So there's other problems, though, as well, to go into depth, which is, if you only have one bed, like I do, you can only have one person sleeping at a time, which means you're on different schedules. It also means that, like, you can't accelerate time in the same way, because accelerating time for one character doesn't really necessarily do anything for the other one. There's more micromanagement, essentially. The more crew that you add, the more people that you have to micromanage, and at some point, you spend more time micromanaging crew members than you do actually benefiting from the added labor of said crew members. So it is really nice if you're in the salvage yard, if you're back at K-Leg and you're salvaging wrecks, it's nice because you can restore parts more quickly with more hands. That's a big benefit, because the parts are on your deck and it's a time grind, right? Like, restoring all the parts of like specialty cargo pods is obviously halved with 2 workers. Here at Ceres, having an extra person to help me with mining is actually not a massive benefit, because the majority of the time mining is traveling from asteroid to asteroid. It isn't actually physically doing the mining. I drag one dolly, I find a shiny node, I mine it, I'm kind of done. Having 2 miners in one asteroid area doesn't increase my chances of finding like a shiny node or double the amount of yield I get from mining. It doesn't do that much for me, if you catch my drift. So, like, I would only really add 1 crew member, because more than that, it's just like too much micromanagement and labor, because Ostranauts is not well designed to handle a huge crew. It's not like Space Haven or like RimWorld or whatever, or a lot of the other space games where like a lot of crew member makes sense. A lot of crew members in Ostranauts, especially given that like crew members can be dumb. They like will suffocate themselves. They'll do stupid things. They kind of need a lot of guardrails to keep them like safe and alive. So yeah, I would really only be willing to do it for 1 person. And it looks like you want me to revert the save and search for someone close to my age. And I really only initiated that conversation, 1, to see if it was possible, and 2, to see what kind of currency I would have to spend. And it wasn't Galfed script. It was obviously regular old USD. Good old normal money. And you saw the cost of that. Obviously, it dipped way into my slush fund, which is why I'm going to continue to search for a potential companion while also doing a little bit of mining to help add to the bank account, because I arrived here with like, what, $500,000, and I'm already down to like 100,000. So yeah, we need to help that out. Plus any addition on top of it allows me to start to, like, I want to get my USD up a bit higher for like operation costs, and then get my script with Galfed up so I can start to afford the spicy weapons, the PDCs and the smart link missiles, plus extra decoys, and that will allow me to actually start to fight the big boys, because at present, when those gunships come a running, I have to flee. I really am not going to reasonably win those fights with any regularity, and I don't want to have to save scum a dozen times to like eke out some sort of Pyrrhic victory where like 3/4 of my ship is blown apart. So yeah. Agreed to talk jobs and ask about skills, and I'm gonna like back my way out of the conversation. So she stalks people. She's also skilled in performing in instrumental music. No one can hear you. So you can see the stakes here. The signing bonus is 0. The salary per day is $278. The death pay, which is like your life insurance policy, is $60K. Where like if you hire them and you kill them immediately, you don't just like profit off the equipment that they have. You pay a penalty for like getting them killed or whatever. I'm going to reassure them, but I am not obviously going to sign them up as crew. So my current priority right now is earn more USD and gal-fed script while searching for a companion. All right, change the subject is where? I don't think there is one, so I'm just going to walk away from this. Sorry to do to you what that other lady just did to me. But I don't know how to stop this conversation, so it's the best I could do. Oh, here's Kiara again. I'm going to actually try to talk to Kiara just one more time. She might just give me the cold shoulder. It could be one of these situations where like our personalities are misaligned or whatever, but it's still like an RNG of chance. And as far as I can tell, everybody else here is gal-fed law enforcement. And I don't believe... handcuff scars, what the hell? I don't believe... Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. You can't really hire them, right? Like, that's not a thing? Maybe it is. Maybe we're wrong. So, correct me if I'm wrong. But, I mean, that's... Alright. I'm going to ask about skills again. See if she tells me, nope, same old skills. Let's talk about hunger and justice. Yawns in my face. I'm going to hit her with a metaphysical quandary. You can't be ugly and dumb, lady. You can only be one of those things. Scans the room nervously. I'm going to talk about the weather, which is a funny thing to say in space. Burst out laughing. Oh, not surprised. Okay. How about a light touch? You thought that was funny? Isn't interested. I'm gonna rant about my love life. I'll just be... You feel doomed to be forever alone. Okay. Nods and listens intently. Okay. I'm gonna reminisce. Oh, I see. Yep. Yep, okay. It do be like that. You're running to the transit, are you? Wait, no, you didn't. Complain about authorities. Oh, hey, that's different. Smile. Demurely. Yo, it's kind of rude for you to keep doing that. Ask how you are. Hey, I stopped you. Talk about the weather. Shoot the breeze. Worse hurts. Thank you for the resub, by the way. She smiles back at me. Lightly touch. Little intimacy. I know, it intrudes upon your privacy. Oh, deep breath and nods. Well, see, you know, we could... Let's see. Right now, you are seeking meaning more than anything. Is there anything... Like, reminisce can help you with meaning, so let's do that. Okay, I reminisce that you were present. Alright, chat. Should I continue to pursue Kiara? or head out, or not, really. Let's just say or not. Pulls up, because this ain't like the east. It's not going that well. It's going poorly. It's not that I want to give up. I just don't want to spend time or effort where it isn't appreciated by you all. So while you vote on this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my own affairs in order, which means put my vendor food away in the fridge, put my bullets away in the bag, etc., that stuff. Yep, she walked away again. It's well, you know, they say spice is the you know, love is the spice of life, and she's giving me a lot of salt, so I don't know. It's weird. I can't. There's no way to spin this in a good way, so never mind. I'm gonna take that back. All right, so here's all the foods going in the fridge. It's really too bad that, like, when you buy food, it just doesn't automatically go in your fridge. That'd be pretty cool. I know, like, I fully acknowledge fridges aren't, like, useful. They don't do anything. I just like having them. All right, here's the ammo bag. Pick up. And, well, I might need to sort my non-lethal and lethal, because, where's the rest of the ammo? It's back here? Because, like, we straight up filled, our ammo bag. And can the bullets actually... No, that's not true. The bullets can go into the pouches, too. It's gonna be funny if I hire his crew. It's like, oh, so welcome to the ship. But please, pay no attention to the massive amount of, armaments, weapons of war littered about the cabin. Like, you don't I mean, you know, don't worry about it. It's gonna be a hard sell. I think this other bag over here, this freebie bag, let's call it, is coming home with me. And it looks like chat voted pursue by small margin. So I will do my best if they're still in the mouth or wherever they are. I don't know where they are at the moment. I do think, like, my 2 cents, that I will probably end up with, like, if I was patient, if my chances of getting, like, a better crew member goes up. But I'm happy with whatever. So I'm just doing litter patrol here. Sell the other bag. Everything minus the bag. Although I needed motors, right? Motors and motherboards. 2 motors, 4 motherboards, so I'm gonna keep the motor. And I forget if the supplies sell that stuff, but I can check. Oh, and chat, did you, did anyone answer whether you can just, like, hire law enforcement? Maybe I can Google that. Ostranauts, can you hire law enforcement as crew? I am not getting a good answer quickly, so I'm gonna leave that alone for now. So their supply doesn't have, like, repair parts. So I could get motherboards by, like, dismantling other stuff. But, I think it's best if I go to, like, Rex out in the salvage yard and you know, get it for free, in other words. Alright, so I have Hunter's lethal ammo bag. And we'll have like a less lethal and lethal. The interwebs seem to say yes about hiring law enforcement. Oh, well that changes the equation. I would not mind pursuing that. I just didn't know it was a possibility. But if it is indeed a possibility, I'm all for the attempt. All right, now I'm doing some ammo sorting. So lethal and non-lethal, and I'll rename the original the non-lethal bag. Double confirmed. Okay. So counter. Should I chat up the best Leo I can find as crew instead of Kiara? Because I think there was one. Lee. There was a few that might have been better crew members. Ones that don't like yaw in my face and laugh at me. Maybe. Yeah. We'll see. Okay. As far as I can tell, the ammunition here on ship is all sorted now. So we got the lethal, and this one is going to be the less lethal. Come on. Cool. Here's my regular bag. And as far as I can tell, it'll be a little easier if I'm in like damage over. Oh god, not damage. I meant mass. Sorry for the flashbang. I don't see any more loose ammo, so I think we're good. We got it all. So, of the Leos here, we have got male. Lee Kent is 24, gal-fed. They are unskilled at EVA suit ops. They do have some scars. Scars can be healed, by the way. They have COPD, so they suffer from breathing difficulty. So, the reason why this matters a lot is if I potentially hire someone that has a lot of health problems, they might not be able to survive the same G-forces I can. And then it limits how fast I can go. Because obviously flooring it would kill them. Or do something bad to them. It's not to say that Lee Kent is a no. That's absolutely not what I was saying. It's funny that they're a gal-fed illegal and a Leo. But we can track them up. The other thing is, let's check out the mouth to see if I've like overlooked anyone. Because everyone else is male. Can we have a romance? You could. It really depends on your character. So I created this character as male, interested in women. As you can see, attracted to women. You can select your gender. You can select your sexual orientation on character creation. And so it would be an option if I changed my character. And at this point, I don't think like changing my character any more significantly like makes a whole lot of sense. I'll just leave it as is and seek what I seek. So we have got How Hayden Connor Hess, who's my age. Whoa, those are some scars. Lillian Alexander. So she is middle-aged. She's a little older than me. For reference, my character is 26. She's 34, which is like middle-aged in the game. She's non-binary. I don't know her orientation, or their orientation, I should say. Given their name, you know, I'm not gonna make any further assumptions. And then Kiara, who's like ugly and giving me the cold shoulder time and time again. So it looks like Lee Kent might be it as best bet. I don't know what COPD will do for her G-force maximum, but we'll see. So I'm going to start this conversation. A cold start, which is harder to start from, brushes me off. I'll try again. Cool down, deny. She says, get lost. She doesn't want to talk. Okay. Well, at least that was straightforward. This is a broken... Oh, a patched floor? What is even going on here? They did, as far as I know, repaired or patched the thing where, like, if you restore the station, you aren't penalized for it. Because it used to be that they would get pissed at you. So now you can actually fix stuff up and, like, not pay for it, which is great. And fight fires. That was in some recent patch notes. Just to see what's going on, I'm also gonna Lillian by day, Alexander by night. I'm gonna try to talk to Lillian as well. Listen briefly, and cold start, and I'm sure rolls fail because cold start's pretty hard to go from. Doesn't bite, but doesn't leave me either. I'll try it again. Brushes me off, but considers me an acquaintance. Interesting. Cool down tonight. All right. Well, I don't think my conversation with Leo is going to end up. I'll try one more time of Kent here, but I don't think it's going to end up well. But it's not to say that I can't. Like, there's lots of Leo out and other ships out in the belt. So, do I continue to talk to Kiara or find a companion later? It's funny, the only person that hasn't turned me down, I turned down. And I'll go back to the mouth. The other thing is, like, if I just, like, detached from Ceres, got into stable orbit with Ceres, the moon, and not the station, and, like, waited 24 hours, the roster... Oh, every Leo has an is unhireable tag on them. Interesting. Well, I guess the internet was wrong. I mean, one of the ultimate issues is... And let's see. Is... Like, if I look at Connor Hess... Oh, yeah, I would have to enter dev mode. You're right. Alright, looks like I'm gonna go with later. But every time I've come back to the station, the law enforcement officers are pretty much the same. But the shipbreakers that are here in port changes. So I do think that the pool of potentials change regularly. There's one last thing I want to do before departing, which is to get everything I need for a spare suit. So I'm going to buy... I don't need a spare battery because I already have batteries. And speaking of which, my suit battery is like low as hell. But I want a spare filter, aux bottle. Like, basically, I want to be able to throw this suit on and think nothing more about its, you know, I want it ready to go. I'll even... This other laser torch is all set, right? Oh, it doesn't have charge? Because I'm charging up the batteries, I think. I don't need to put anything necessarily in the slot. Yeah, I was charging up the battery. Yeah, it's fine. So let's go get one more spare ox bottle and suit filter, and then I'll head on out. It looks like later is going to be the choice. Having someone that has like yawned in my face multiple times and like just kind of ghosted me, quite literally, just disappearing, it's not a good start. It is all our energy, actually, at the end of the day. So I'm not going to send a barter zone. I'm just going to hold it. So we'll do a refurbish like new, and then a refurbish like new filter. That's fine. Someone B-Sir doesn't have this tag? Okay, interesting. So it's like a bit of a mixed bag of like whether they have the tag or not. So maybe the next time I come back to Calico or come back to the station, I will try to hit up more of the Leos to see whether, because what I'm trying to say essentially is I don't want to necessarily cheat and like turn on dev mode to be able to check whether they're hireable or not. Like I'd rather just chat them normally rather than like look at the console code, because that's I don't want to promote that kind of shortcut. So good to know. Thank you for the info, and I'll work with that in mind. Thank you for tuning in to Ostranauts Fire in the Hold, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow astronauts.